Hello, artists! Today we're going to be making art inspired by Frank Stella, a very famous artist, and we're going to be using the colors of the rainbow, especially primary, secondary, warm, and cool colors. The materials that you're going to need for your project are these two papers right here. You're going to need all the markers in the rainbow. You're also going to need a pair of scissors and a glue stick. You'll also need a piece of black construction paper, which is right under here. That's all you need to get started. So, the first part of this project, we are going to be coloring in our Frank Stella inspired squares. We are using markers today, and we're going to start off by our right square. We're going to have this square be the primary and secondary colors. The first thing I want you to do is we're going to take our primary colors. We got red, yellow, and blue. And what we're going to do is make a pattern on our square. And what I'm going to start off with is blue. And we're going to be coloring in these two triangles right across from each other. And what I'm doing right now is marking with my marker what colors I want in each stripe. That way, so I know my primary colors are red, yellow, and blue, and I'm marking my paper so I don't have to think about it later. Next, we're going to be marking our secondary colors. So that's orange, we got some purple, and green. Ooh. All right, so we got our three colors. I think I'm going to start off with orange. So I'm just taking a little mark and labeling where I want my colors to go. I'm going to make this one green. And I'm going to make this one purple. So this is obviously not a finished piece of art. I'm just marking my colors, so the hard part is done. So we want our triangles here and here to have the primary colors only. And we want these two triangles to have the secondary colors only. Once you have that marked, we're going to go to our next square. This is going to be warm and cool colors. I'm going to grab all my warm colors. We have red as a warm color, yellow, and orange. I'm going to start by marking my triangles once again. So these are going to be my warm colors. And I'm not fully coloring in anything yet. I am just marking where I want my warm colors to go. Next, I'm going to be putting my cool colors down on the page. We have green, purple, and blue. I'm going to do I'm going to start off with blue. Marking my blue. Then I'm going to take my purple marker and mark my purple down. And last but not least, we got our green. So right now, I'm looking at, we have a mapped out version of our Frank Stella art. If we were to start here, this would not be a complete work of art. So now we're going to go back in and color in our triangles. Now we want these triangles to have the best coloring ever. So we're going to color as much white space as we can, and we're going to color inside the lines. So take your time on this part. Now, while you're coloring, feel free to pause this video, but I wanted to show you a little tip that will help with coloring. So, what I would do with your marker is outline the area you're going to color first. So then it's a little easier to stay in the lines, and then color everything in. So I went out of the line a little bit there, that's okay. So down here, I'm going to outline on the black line. So I'm just drawing with my marker, outlining. And I'm going to do this all around. Let's see. There we go. And then now it's a little bit easier to color in. So go ahead, you can hit pause on this video and color on your own. And once you're all colored in, you can press play again. All right, so as you can see, I have finished with one of my squares. So it is all cut out. And if you look at the coloring, there's not really any white showing. So I would say this is finished. So we're going to be cutting out our squares once you're done coloring. So there's some extra paper on this side right here and this side right here. So I'm just going to take my scissors and follow the line and just snip, 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 cut that paper away. Whoop. And then we're going to throw our scraps away later. But right now, I'm just going to follow my line and cut my paper out so we have a nice, colorful square. So we should have 2 of these done. So you see, when we color with markers, sometimes it causes the paper to bend. That's okay. So now we're going to use our glue stick and we're going to glue our squares down to our black paper. So I'm going to make sure, we're going to line them up. Make sure that it's nice in the middle of the paper. And I am going to just take my glue stick. I'm going to flip my square over. Now you can glue, it doesn't matter where the paper, which way the colors are. It doesn't matter which way the triangles are. So I'm going to make a big X and a square. And I'm going to add a little more glue. I'm going to flip my paper over. I think I like it facing this way. So I'm going to put it down on my paper. I'm going to take my hand, I'm going to smooth it down. So for the most part, it's glued down to my paper, but some of those edges are being a little stubborn. So what I'm going to do is fold my paper over and just add a little more glue to my black paper and press it down some more. And now that's glued down a little bit better. Maybe a little more over here too. And our square is glued down much better. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to decide which way. I think I like this way. I like how this looks. So I'm going to match it up. And I'm going to try to make this line up with my other square as best as I can. I'm going to put my paper, this time I want to make sure they match. So I'm putting my glue on my black part of my paper. I'm going to smooth that down. I dropped my glue stick. Okay, got it back. I'm going to flip this paper up and see what I'm doing. I'm adding the glue on the black paper instead. Now I'm going to take my hand and rub it down. So as you can see, I need to add more glue. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue on the corners of my paper. I'm going to push it down. A little more glue and push it down. And I'm going to keep doing that until I think all of my corners and my paper is stuck on the black paper. So now you are all finished. Once you think your squares are colored the best that you can and you glue them on your black paper, you have a nice Frank Stella inspired artwork. Good job.